Greetings! Just had a megadose of vitamin C. Megadose! Like, I don't want to say how much on video, but it was a lot. Now this video is going to seem superficially, and I've heard that before, to be like an extravagant claim, but I could assure you, with everything that I am, that it's not. It's 100% undeniable. Now, if I were to tell this to probably 99% of the teachers out there, and I use teachers with air quotations because most teachers are not teachers, this is what a teacher is, and you know it.
Go home and read chapters 1 through 6. We're going to have a multiple guess test.
These people are just trying to fill your head with a bunch of useless information. And I'm not against knowledge. Episteme, or empirical knowledge, is moderately important. You know, it's better to know things than not to know things. But knowing things, even though it's better than being completely in the dark, is far, far, far inferior to actually having wisdom. Yes? One might know, for example, how to build a house because they watched a bunch of DIY home building videos on the DIY network, which is a channel, by the way. It's kind of fascinating. And they read a book on building, but you actually have the knowledge, which is not knowledge, I meant to say wisdom, of how to do it yourself, and have that apprenticeship. And this is the reason why, too, so much good stuff comes out of Germany, what's being made. Germany, Japan, and a few other places. Americans don't learn a trade skill. You know, they get their head filled with facts. And here's an example, and I've had hundreds of emails like this. And before I get to this email, this video is a shortcut to a much, much better education. You're supposed to, at least it was the fact back in the day, to have the tools within your mind and of your wisdom, collectively of your wisdom, to be able to understand things and discern things. This is the reason why someone with a PhD might, other people think is, well, that guy's really smart, he knows a lot of stuff. Well, superficially that's true, but these people are the ones that do the dumbest things. And I have literally seen PhD people say the dumbest things, believe the dumbest things, and do the dumbest things. They have no common sense. They have no wisdom at all. And there is also, too, a reason, and I don't know how much you know about this, that we think we're so smart today because we have computers and TVs and all this other garbage and the internet. The most intelligent writings that came out of the Dark Ages and even the 14th through the 17th century was because if you had money, your children got an education that was Platonic and Aristotelian, and you learned the dialectic of understanding and comprehending things and be able to discern things. And we don't have that anymore. Anyway, here's an email, and I've had hundreds like it, literally hundreds like it, over the years. Ken, I'm about 3/4 of the way done with reading the Pitaphysian. Through osmosis of the dialectic narrative of the book has given me glance into Platonic logic and retroductive methodology, and by goodness, it has changed my life for the better. To think I was walking through life with a blindfold on. That's the short version of this email, but there have been many like us. There is a shortcut to a superior education. And I will tell you flat out that one will be wiser and more intelligent, and I'm not trying to say cut off your education, I'm not saying that at all, but one would be wiser and way more intelligent by having 2 years or 3 years of hard study of dialectic, Platonic, retroductive methodology vis-a-vis the masters than one would have by spending endless years in a high school and a 4-year college education. And by education, of course, I mean that very loosely. There are things that people should learn through the study of which reorganizes your mind to think in an analytical fashion. It doesn't turn you into a robot or something. It gives you the tool whereby which you can discern things, and you could see through other people's because let's face it, 99% of this world is lies and nonsense. Everybody's always trying to take advantage of someone else, or trying to sucker money out of them, or get them to do things against their will. And you have a person with, even a shred of wisdom that has an analytical, dialectic mind. Oh, they're just, they're insufferable because you can't fool them. You can't hoodoo them. They can see and construct and specifically deconstruct, excuse me, deconstruct things in their mind to see, whether something's true or not, and arrive at the answer far, far quicker. There's a retroductive methodology to this way quicker, because this is the reason why Nikola Tesla made fun of Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison, tried to create the light bulb a million different ways before, coming upon an answer. And Nikola Tesla, I can't remember the exact quote, made fun of Thomas Edison. He said if he, used his mind in the correct way, he would have saved himself many wasted years. Because Thomas Edison was a tinkerer, as Nikola Tesla called him, and he was a tinkerer. Now, he was a prolific inventor, but he was the broken clock which, stabbed in the dark many thousands of times before hitting on something. In other words, it's a completely incorrect methodology, and I'm not trying to pick on Thomas Edison, even though there's a lot to pick on about Thomas Edison. Specifically, people should be reading stuff from the perennialists. We're talking about Pythagoreans, Platonists, and Neoplatonists. I could point out some specific books, and I will be doing that in a video in the next few days. A reading list book. One of the big ones is the Epitaphesian. Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with the Epitaphesian. You can type it out. I'll spell it to you as P-E-R-I-P-H-Y-S-E-O-N. And it was written by John Scotus Erigena, or John the Scot. There are digital editions out there. It is and it itself is based upon the author, John Scotus Erigena's readings of the Cloud of Unknowing and some other Neoplatonic texts, which of course go back to Plotinus, and the Platinian texts vis-a-vis the Enneads go back to Pythagorean and Platonic dialectic and retroductive methodologies of reasoning, logic, and arriving through wisdom answers to things which are not directly discernible. And this is literally the magic toolkit, if you will, to a higher education. And this is, if you read this stuff, and of course, reading stuff doesn't confer wisdom upon anybody. It's like, anybody could read and memorize anything, but you actually have to think about it while you're reading it. You actually have to absorb what it's saying through osmosis. Reading, I have a computer, read text, and a digital voice could read it out, but that's not going to make the computer any smarter. So, I'm not saying reading it, nor am I implying that, because someone will accuse me of that. So, you're reading, it's not going to do anything. And you're right. You have to actually take it into yourself and make that part of yourself and your manner of understanding and processing information through everything you encounter in daily life. So this is a shortcut to a higher education. And I tell you with 100% certainty, because time is money, nobody wants to waste their time. People do various things in life, and I've been guilty of that early in my life, spending time on things that are a total waste. They don't make your life any better, they don't help you really in any way. You can waste time and money on a billion different things that not only don't help your life, but make it worse 9 times out of 10. But this is one thing I can promise you with 100% certainty, with undeniability in the extreme, that this will make your life better. It's a shortcut to a superior education and understanding. About what? Absolutely. So why would I read this? And I work with, making widgets or something like that. It doesn't matter what you do in life, what your career you pursue, or anything. It doesn't matter what sort of life you live, and whether you're, a homeless hippie on the shores of California, or you're a widget maker in the factory in Tennessee. It doesn't matter who you are. This will make your life better by actually having the tools for discernment and understanding that blocks out the nonsense, and it lets you very quickly and expediently arrive at the answers to things that you want to know and things that you need to know. And this is the reason why, as I said earlier and hinted at, that some of the best writings that we've ever read have come out of the Dark Ages in the 14th to the 16th century. They didn't have computers and TVs and the internet. These magic devices were everything. We were so much smarter than those old people. Yeah, but invariably, I have those people that think they're so smart because they have computers and iPads and iPhones and cameras. And I said, I dare you to read something like De Divina Proportione in English, right? It doesn't have to be Latin because most people can't read Latin. Or read the Theoria Philosophiae Naturalis by Rodor Boskevich, who's the #1 book of Nikola Tesla. I said, I dare you to even try to read one page of it. And literally their brains melt. Like, you're right, man. I thought you were crazy. I downloaded it, and these books are free on archive.org, by the way. I tried to read it, and my brain melted. I couldn't even make it through one page. And I said, so these stupid people that didn't have computers and the internets and all this other stuff, you know, one page of their book is so dense and so over. I have a PhD. I have had people with, many people with college degrees try to read the Pitaphesian or Pitaphesian's readable, even though it's dense. Try to read Theoria Philosophiae Naturalis. I can't read it. I got a PhD and I can't read it. It melts their brain. There's the reason why, and these people that weren't like super intellectual prodigies, what they did is they studied this stuff. It will reorganize your mind always in a better way. Always. Make you understand things better. Make everything more clear, more precise. It blocks out nonsense. It absorbs all the good stuff that people are supposed to absorb in life. I mean this truly. I do not exaggerate in what I say. And I'm just going to mention a few books, and I'll make a list in a video here in a few days, like the Pitaphesian. Yeah? There are 4 books within the Pitaphesian. 5, actually, excuse me, I take it back. Depends on how you separate it, but 5. Of John Scotus Regina. Iamblichus, the works of Iamblichus. Syrianus, reading even the very small book, which someone could read in about, and I have that book uploaded on the internet. The Didaskalikos of Albanus. The Didaskalikos. Just phonetically say that out yourself. The Didaskalikos. D-I-D-A-S-K-A-L-I-K-O-S. The Didaskalikos of Albanus. Someone could read that in a few hours. You really do have to read it more than once. I digitized that work. It's out there on the internet. The Enneads of Plotinus. Nothing finer. I like to read it in the original Greek. All translations are inferior except for Thomas Taylor's, which is incomplete, unfortunately, even though he was the most prolific ancient Greek translator. The commentary of Proclus, specifically Syrianus. I think I just got done saying a few minutes ago, Syrianus. The articles written by Dr. A.K. Kumaraswamy. I have the rights to all of those works of Kumaraswamy. They're given to me by his son, Rama P. Kumaraswamy. Those are also, too, out there on the internet, thanks to me. Some of the books of Julius Evola, like Ride the Tiger, Revolt Against the Modern World, really good stuff. However, his to a much lesser degree. Philosophy is a Rite of Rebirth is one book. It's written by Algis Uzdavinas. Just type in Philosophy is a Rite of Rebirth. Most people can't type out his name. Philosophy is a Rite of Rebirth. It's a yellow-covered hardcover. I think it's in softcover now. Book by Algis Uzdavinas. This is all, too, within the scope of perennialism, or Philosophia Perennis. But this is the secret to all those Dark Age through 16th, 17th century books, which were written by people like, wow, this stuff is impenetrably intelligent. What these people had was not something special over what you have. However, people are now distracted by their stupid devices and everything. What they had was an education that is grounded in this specific dialectic metaphysics of retroductive ontology and understanding. It's the lost secret of the Pythagoreans, the Platonists, and the Neoplatonists. And it will make your life better in every way. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you're a basket weaver in Montana, or you're a widget maker in, factory in Tennessee, or you're a homeless bum in Venice, California. It doesn't make any difference. It makes every aspect of life better. It doesn't make your coffee taste better, but And this really is a secret shortcut to a superior education. Flat out, bar none, 100% undeniable. It's not my feeling or belief or opinion in what I said in this video. It is an undeniable fact. Anybody that takes this material within themselves and assimilates it, like the Borg assimilation, they assimilate it, every aspect of their life, their understanding, their ability to discern, pull in if it's good or reject if it's bad. It's like, well, that's nonsense. That's a complete logical absurdity, for example, because boom, 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 boom. You know, like, wow, people can't fool you anymore. They can't pull the wool over your eyes. They can't hoodoo you. And that's what 99% of the world is trying to, because every commercial is just nonsense and lies and propaganda to brainwash you, to sucker you, to fork over money for nonsense you don't need or is bad for you. So every aspect of this is a higher and superior education, and it is a shortcut. A 3-year education in this is worth way more than a PhD and a college degree. Way more. And that is also, too, not my opinion. It's an undeniable fact. Thank you so much for watching. I'll make those list of those books here in a few days. However, I mentioned them before in different videos, but a lot of people keep asking for it, so thank you for watching. If you like this video, it's not a real pipe. Any donation is always warmly welcome in the description below. But thanks for watching. Goodbye.